The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Caloocan Bishop Pablo David has been re-elected as president of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines. The re-election took place during the first day of the CBCP's 126th Plenary Assembly in Kalibo, Aklan. This will be David's second and final two-year term as the head of the CBCP. Sales of Barbie dolls have declined in recent years as people turn to electric toys or electronic toys, but can the upcoming Barbie movie help regain its popularity? Let's watch this.
It's the best day ever.
It is the best day ever. So is yesterday, and so is tomorrow, and every day from now until forever.
The most popular doll of all time, Barbie, is finally getting her own movie.
So cool.
The film, which is directed by Greta Gerwig and stars Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, will poke fun at a lot of the very things the toy has been criticized for.
Or you can know the truth about the universe.
The idealized fantasy that Barbie encapsulates has undergone revamps before. In 2016, new body types and better careers were introduced, but Barbie's origins have been hard to overcome, and for good reason. Her looks were based on the Lily doll, a foot-tall, busty blonde, which wasn't actually made for kids. German men passed her around bachelor parties as a joke gift. Mattel's then CEO, Ruth Handler, discovered Lily on a family trip. She'd seen her own daughter toss aside baby dolls in favor of paper dolls, creating stories about their fashionable grown-up existences. So Handler decided to create a tiny 3D model with which children could play out their dreams of adulthood. And soon after Barbie hit the shelves, Mattel became the largest toy company in the world. For decades, Barbie was a huge success, usually accounting for about a third to a half of Mattel's revenue. And despite being anatomically preposterous, since so few women were actually running companies or winning political office, Barbie, the US president, the surgeon, or the corporate executive, became a role model. But with the rise of video games, some marketing missteps, just a greater awareness of eating disorders and body politics, Barbie came to be viewed as out of step, and sales fell every year between 2011 and 2015.
What do I have to do?
This summer's potential blockbuster is designed to showcase changes Barbie and society have undergone. It's also part of the business model Mattel's current CEO, Ynon Kreiz, has been trying to establish since 2018. Kreiz wants Mattel to operate more like Disney, which has created a multiverse of movies, products, shows, and theme parks off of Marvel and Star Wars characters. There are more than a dozen other movies now in production based on Mattel toys, including Hot Wheels, Uno cards, and even Magic 8 Balls. Now, making the transition will be tough. Mattel has tried and failed many times to move away from the cyclical toy manufacturing business and has never pulled off the pivot. But maybe this time it's different, because the Hollywood Trade Press, from Variety to Rotten Tomatoes, has pegged Barbie as one of the most anticipated movies of 2023.
Meanwhile, Senator Francis Tolentino doubles down on his call to ban the upcoming Barbie film in the Philippines. Tolentino said the movie violates the rights of Filipino fisher folks by showing China's 9-dash line claim in the South China Sea. The senator, who is vice chairman of the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations, insists that the struggles fishermen face in the disputed waters are real and not a product of imagination. Warner Brothers earlier defended the film, saying that the controversial map scene in the movie has no intended significance and is just a crane drawing. The MTRCB has yet to decide on whether to ban the movie, just like what Vietnam did in protest for using China's 9-dash line. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Kai Sotto remained on the bench in his first game with Orlando Magic in the NBA Summer League. The game was supposed to be a much-awaited debut for Kai, as it is his second shot at the NBA after going undrafted last year. Now, it wasn't a good day for the Orlando Magic as well after losing to the Detroit Pistons 89-78. A few Filipino fans attended a game in Vegas hoping to see Kai in action. Now, there is still hope though in the coming games, with Orlando set to face off against the Indiana Pacers on July 11. Now, here's a quick look on other stories we're watching. Cavite's richest town, Carmona, is now a component city. Over 30,000 residents voted to ratify the creation of Carmona's city charter. Carmona is now the 8th city in the province of Cavite. The National Police is willing to deploy cops to help with security checks over at the University of the Philippines, Diliman. This is after the reported sexual assault of a female student within campus grounds last week. The Tourism Department will likely stick with its new Love the Philippines slogan despite the campaign being marred with controversy in the past week. Sources told the Philippine Star that there are plans to retain the slogan. Some LGUs, tourism businesses, and social media personalities also continue to use the campaign's logo and tagline. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 10:45 in the morning as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.